the Dynasty Madden League grind in 365.
Welcome into the DML Network. It's your boy Expert, and we got another episode of The Grind. We're going to go through 5 more things people in the CFM community want to see change for our game mode. Now, you know I don't do shows by myself, and I got 2 of my favorite co-hosts from the show on the DML Network called Numbers Don't Lie. It's the homie Tightwork and KP. What's going on, guys?
Hey, what's up, man?
What's happening?
Man, glad to have you 2 on here. I've been waiting to get a show in with you 2, and this is an important show, guys. We had over 230 people vote on this poll from the CFM community on what they wanted to see change. We narrowed that list down to the top 5, and man, some of these are going to be key if we want to see the CFM community go big. Tightwork, KP, are y'all ready to jump into these top 5?
Let's get it.
Man,
All
yep,
right, man.
yeah.
All right. First on the list, number 5. We'll go 5 to 1. Number 5 thing that the CFM community wants to see change for Madden 19 is we want to see zone and man coverages improved. And then when you switch to a DB or linebacker while the ball is in the air, stop making our player freeze in the middle of you switching. All right, KP, I'm going to go to you first. What is it about man and zone coverages that we see in Madden 18 that's the most frustrating to you?
Well, what's most frustrating to me, man, is you can have players that have high man ratings, but they don't play that way. They may have a 90 man rating, but get beat all the time. So when you're not able to play man, it kind of forces you to play zone, and they don't really play zone that well. It's improved, but I think they can make this concept of Madden a lot better, where we could actually play man and zone defenses. I think right now in majority of CFM leagues, people play more 90% zone and maybe 10% man. It's not balanced at all. So I think we need to come to a situation where we can have a balanced gameplay on the defensive side of the ball.
And even 90 and 10 is still stretching it for most people. I know I played games where I've seen maybe 1 or 2 plays where a user is in man, and that's just because you don't feel comfortable with your cornerback out there in space versus a top receiver. Tightwork, speak on why is it so difficult? We saw great man coverage in Madden 16. I mean, it was locked down. If you had 2 corners with the attributes of playing man coverage, you could lock down wide receivers. Why has it gone so far to the right where now, if you play man and get caught with the wrong receiver, it's 6?
I think the thresholds are messed up on it, because when the game first shipped, the defense played man well, but then there was a lot of fallback saying that it was too good, and then they had to dumb it down some to where we got now. The problem with the man and zones are the predictability. No matter what coverage you're in, there's routes that's going to be that's always open. It's never, okay, I got this guy that got 95 zone, and it's one guy in his zone and he still get beat on a post. Or I call cover 2 and he's playing on top of the out, no matter what's his ratings. So it's just the predictability. In football, it's unpredictable. You never would know what's going to happen. You could be in the right call and the guy might make a bad play and get beat. Or you could be in a wrong call, then he read the play that makes something happen. And we don't get that. We don't get that in this game.
Yeah, you make a great point. When this game came out the box, man, it was zones were tight. Zones were tight, and you had to be on your precision if you wanted to make a pass over the middle. You want to throw that out right. But you're right, Tight. Too many people complained, and they really did dumb down with the first couple patches on how defenses play. So we got to go back to there's got to be some kind of happy medium versus what we saw when the game first came out, where you had, and look, I'll be the first one to say, when the game first came out, it felt like I was playing against 2 Deion Sanders and an Ed Reed and a Ronnie Lott on every single defense that I saw. Listen, when the game first came out, there were times Expert ran the ball the entire game with not a single pass. We took the ball out the quarterback's hands. and ran the ball 100% and was winning ball games. So there's got to be some kind of happy medium we see between Deion Sanders playing corner versus Rogers Camardi playing corner. There's got to be a medium, and I'm sure EA's working on trying to get that balance. But let's talk real quick, KP. I want you to weigh in on how frustrating it is when you see a ball go up in the air and you switch to that cornerback and he just stops running. Like, it's the most frustrating thing, correct?
Correct. That's one of the most frustrating things about this game, man. I feel like if my opponent throws me an interception, the transition to get that interception and be able to run towards the next end zone should be smooth. It's not smooth. When you get the interception, the game freezes and you're already pushing one way. So when the game, corrects itself, sometimes you may end up going backwards or to the side where you want to go straight. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I think we need to correct this where you make an interception, the transition is very smooth. So
yeah, and right now it could be the difference between winning and losing a game when you get that pick and really you have open field in front of you, but you take that one false step and that allows the offense to get back in position to make a tackle. I've seen it cost guys wins in leagues that we've seen play on Twitch or whatever we've watched, where that animation has caused them to lose games. All right, guys, so that was number 5 on the list. And listen, to me, that's one of the things that has to be changed before Madden 19 comes out. But we still got 4 other things that the CFM community voted on that thought they were more important than improving secondary. So let's go to number 4. And guys, 4 through 1 was very close. It was really within 10 votes of each on what these next 4 would be. And the next one is we got to make awareness matter on both sides of the ball. Right now, what does awareness do for a player? To me, listen, the only thing awareness does is it makes the overall of a guy jump up. That's all it does. So you may look pretty when you see a guy that's an overall 90 because he's got huge awareness. But tight work, is awareness actually helping a linebacker make better decisions?
My opinion, it doesn't. It's one of the ratings they should have took out a long time ago when they started stretching the ratings out. Because on defense, you have play rec and awareness. Which one is more important? We never know, and we never got a definitive answer from EA on what they do. Like, you have ratings that overlaps awareness, but then we still have the awareness rating. And I have a fullback that's good. I upped his awareness to 99. And leading through the hole, he still run past the linebacker to go get a safety.
So he a 99 and not aware of anything. He just run around. It's frustrating, KP. You get a fullback on a sweep play, and it's you, the fullback, and a corner, and that corner runs past your fullback because your fullback's going to block the guy holding the down marker on the sideline. Why is that so difficult for that rating to mean something in Madden? How can that not matter if it's in the game?
Well, I feel like if it's in the game, which it is, it should have some type of it should affect the player in some type of way. But like my man Tightwork said, you have awareness and you have play rec. For some reason, I just feel like those two should probably be combined into just one and just make it play rec. You know what I'm saying? Because as we all know, and as my man Expert stated earlier, all I ever see awareness do is boost the overall. So
that's it. Exactly.
Hey, if I want to trade somebody, I'm just gonna boost his overall, and then trade him. That to me, that's the only thing it really matters for. So I would like to really see them take that out of the game and just leave play rec there. I mean, if somebody can really tell me the difference, then yeah, I'll be cool with it. But they haven't been able to do that.
That's where we got to go, Titan KP. We got to go to where someone explains to us what does play rec mean and what does awareness mean. If they mean the same thing, they should be combined, or at least let us know what each differs and why it's important to upgrade that one. But go ahead, Tightwork, if you got something else.
I got one for you, Expert. How does awareness help a receiver? I have a rating for route running. Now, the higher route running means he's going to break off an out at 10. And a lower awareness guy, he should break it off at 7, right?
Well,
what does that do on offense?
That's the thing. If his route running is up, he should run that route with precision. If his route running is up. Now, to me, awareness for a wide receiver is if he knows that cornerback is pressing to him, that he takes a different route. He feeds to the outside versus feeds to the inside. Or if that cornerback is off, he knows I could break this route off at 7. I can't go 10 because I'm going to run into his zone. That's where awareness should help a wide receiver, that he understands what that cornerback is sitting at. Now, route running, he's going to run exactly what that route says. If it's supposed to be a 3-yard slant, he's going to run 3 yards and run the slant. And he's going to run it perfectly every single time versus rounding it off, or he's not running the correct angle. But awareness for a wide receiver is if he sees that cornerback playing off, he knows he can break it sooner. Or if he sees that linebacker in that zone, he takes a different route past that linebacker. But once again, awareness means nothing. And until somebody can show me proof where a low awareness wide receiver or low awareness linebacker is playing worse than a high awareness player, I'm not going to upgrade that. Unless, like you said, unless it's time for me to trade him and I want to make his overall a 90, I'm going to max out his awareness. So that way somebody looks at him and goes, man, that's a 90 overall linebacker. I need to go scoop that guy up. Exactly. But until then, I don't waste my time on awareness. If he's got 50 awareness, oh well. I don't think that's really hurting or helping him at all. But that's number 4, guys. Awareness has to get better on both sides of the ball. And I think, guys, listen, I believe there's nobody really in the CFM community, if we step back and think about it, EA's not sitting there going, we're not going to fix any of the things they asking for. They know this mode is important. I saw a tweet the other day. I don't know who tweeted it, but someone from EA said that CFM franchise mode in Madden is the most played game mode in all of Madden.
Yeah, I read that too.
I heard it on the interview.
If you feel it's the most played mode, it should get the most attention, in my opinion. Now, we all
back on the PlayStation 2.
Yes, listen. You preaching to the choir. Listen. Now listen, I'm a businessman. I have my own business. I understand that you go where the money is. Right now, Madden Ultimate Team is where the money is. You got guys like Problem and Skimbo, and all those guys are on the NFL Network. They are the promotion of Madden. So I understand that mode has to be important. But when you say things like CFM is the most played mode on your game, you need to show some love to those thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of guys playing your mode from the time the game opens until the next one comes out.
Right.
That's how important CFM is. All right. That's just one tangent here on the grind on the DML network. We'll have plenty of those on this show. But let's go to number 3. Let's go to number 3, and this is one of my favorite ones to talk about. We gotta improve animations. We gotta stop having defenders sucked into these animations. We gotta stop having the same animations on wide receiver jump balls. You got guys juking 3 and 4 people at the same time on a spin move that are just stopping. Where you got a running back running through a wide open hole and get sucked into the defensive tackle. Yes. Or a linebacker that's on a block. He's being blocked, and the only reason he makes the tackle is because the animation sucks you into him. All right, KP, I'm going to go to you first. What's the worst animation you want to see fixed when we get to Madden 19?
Hey, man. You talked about it briefly a few minutes ago. These jukes the juke animations really are, very disturbing. You can be playing a guy and it will suck you into the animation even before he jukes. So you like, man, me and Tyke talked about it earlier. You can have a guy, running inside, or he gonna juke inside, so you gonna try to tackle inside. He jukes. It just, the animation takes you all the way out of where you want to go. And even with passing, I've seen a couple passing in some of these CFM leagues, man, where the defender would be in position, and the animation would somehow put the defender behind the wide receiver. And now, instead of a deflection or an interception, it's a catch. So these are some of the animations that I feel like need to be fixed.
All right, Tightwork, speak on it. Animation.
I think when they went up with more power to the PlayStation 4, they tried to simplify the game. We have a button for everything now, and the animations look good playing out on the screen. But I just wish they were shorter and less canned. So if you go to juke left and juke inside, and the guy is coming inside to tackle him, don't overwrite the position of the defender to make the offensive guy win. Or the truck animation, you head sticking the guy before he goes to the truck animation, but then for some reason the guy gets trucked. I know it's a business, it's a game, it's supposed to look pretty as you play it, but there's no logic. It seems like there's no logic behind it. It's not the basketball game, not the football game. We don't want to compare that one, but the animations dictate everything that's on the field. And then once they got up to power, with all this power from the PlayStation 4, it seemed like the animations override everything else. To make it look pretty and try to make it look like what you see on Sundays, but they don't always play out that way. So I think if they just shorten the animation some and just give you back control over your players,
yeah,
more understandable.
Yeah, and I think that's where it's got to go to. It's got to go where you have more control of that player. Because here's the thing. Again, the juke rating means absolutely nothing to me.
Zero.
Because I will explain this way. Listen, I'm a diehard Dallas Cowboy fan. So when I play online, that's all I play with is the Dallas Cowboys. So I played an online head-to-head the other day. Ezekiel is on a stretch play. He's running and he fumbles the football, and Jason Witten picks the football up. Now, nobody in the history of the world would think Jason Witten is an athletic guy. He's always open for me, but he's not going to juke anybody. And I juked 3 or 4 guys on the way to the end zone with my tight end, who is 74 years old for the Dallas Cowboys. His juke is like 36. Now, if Jason Witten is juking linebackers and safeties, there's a problem.
Oh, he's not just juking them. He's breaking ankles.
That's it. He is Kyrie Irving people on the football field. And that's my thing, is that the juke has to be related to what your rating is for that exact move. We have an actual rating for juke.
Right.
And if it doesn't match that rating, you should not be able to juke very well, or it should slow you down so much that it's easy to tackle you. But you can juke a guy and still be in full speed mode running to the end zone. The juke I hate, listen, the animation I hate the worst is when you chasing a guy down the field and you fixing to catch him, and he does that juke where he pulls the stick back.
That back juke.
And your guy just falls down.
Yes.
Like he saw a quarter on the field and he needed to pick it up. It's the worst, because that right there can be the difference between a win and a loss. Or the animation of you're running down the field and you throw the ball up and the defender and the wide receiver go up for it and the ball goes 40 miles in the air and allows every defender to get to that ball and intercept it before it hits the ground. I've watched enough football. I've never seen that happen in the NFL. Does the ball get tipped up in the air? Sure. But not 40 yards in the air to allow everybody else to show up.
Yeah.
Again, the juke move is only one part of the running back. Guys, if you do the spin at the right time, there is nobody that can tackle me if I hit it right. And that's not a part of football. It can't be. We got to correlate the animations to the physics of that player. So listen, is LaShawn McCoy going to get more jukes? Yes. Is Le'Veon Bell going to juke more guys? Yes. Is Zeke going to do those things? Yes. Now, is Jake Reed going to do that? No, he's not. Mike Evans is not out there juking people. He's 6'5". He's running people over or going over the top of them to catch footballs. It's got to correlate to what that guy is. If your running back is 5'8", 185 pounds, he should not be juking every single person on the field, and then he should not be able to truck a defensive tackle. That's not where the game matches up to what the player is. And
or the physics.
And you look at a guy, I mean, KP, does it make you draft different when you look at a running back? Because you really don't care if he's big. You don't care if he's, super fast. You just need a guy that's going to be able to plug in. His awareness, we already recognize his awareness doesn't make any difference.
Right.
But you can pretty much pick up a running back off of somebody's practice squad or in free agency, plug him in, and he can go to work in this game.
Hey, I'm glad you said that, because in one of the CFM leagues, I drafted I think he was 69 overall. He's my starter. So that explains a lot when it comes to running backs, man. It's almost like you can just plug anybody in there and then run the ball, So
and here's the thing, like, tight. I mean, we play this game from August to August. Most of us in the CFM community, most of us in multiple leagues, and I think this Madden has really taken the GM skill out of it, really, because you can pretty much plug anybody in certain positions, and if you know the schemes of this game or what works against what coverage, you can be successful. And we've kind of taken the physics out of the game to make it where guys have to actually put the work in, the time in, to build a roster, versus I can just wake up, plug whatever running back I got in, and if I run the right plays and juke at the right time, I can beat anybody. Isn't that not what CFM is about? This is about building your team.
Yep, to fit your play style, to fit what you think is your team to be. And right now with the animations and physics, it doesn't play out to that, because you can, like you said, can plug in anybody in any situation. Like if you get a receiver and he's fast, you're gonna have success with him just because he's fast. Throw him a slant, throw him a drag, and let him outrun somebody. Or now the hot thing is the play action outs. Put him in a slot and have him run a post, because we know that the safety is gonna move out the way and let him catch the ball after the patches. Before the patches, it was an interception, but now, touchdown.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and that's going to transition us right into number 2, which is players got to play to their ratings. Okay, guys, I'm going to give you the perfect example, and I'm not going to call this user out, but everybody that I run with in CFM knows this guy. And I watched him put a 61 overall rated quarterback into a game. Now, 61 overall rated quarterback I think he had like 87 throw power. He didn't have anything short, medium, deep accuracy over 75. It was all yellow. His whole player card was either yellow or red. It was horrible. And I watched him throw for 400 plus yards and demolish a team at the quarterback position. Is that something we see in the NFL? That let's just say Tom Brady goes down. Are we seeing Joe Schmo come off the bench and orchestrate 400 plus passing yards in the NFL?
No.
So why is that able to happen in a Madden franchise, that you can take any kind of quarterback and plug him in and throw dots like he's Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers? Why is that even possible, KP?
I mean, the only way that's possible is if we say ratings don't matter. And if you're telling me his whole player card was yellow or red,
horrible.
I mean, how is he able to drop dimes on deep passes, out slants, and not have errant throws? I just don't understand that. I mean, if that's the case, I mean, I might as well pick the lowest rated quarterback in my CFM and go out there and ball. You know, I won't pay top dollar for a Brady or a Drew Brees when I can just plug and play.
But isn't that tight? Isn't that how it feels right now, that you can just plug and play at most of these key positions?
Yeah, I'm on the opposite end of this. It can happen. It can happen. Some guy off the bench just come and light it up, but then he should be consistent. You know what I'm saying? You can have a fire game, one game, but then after everybody knows that you're that guy, they game plan for you, they take away your strength, which you don't have any. Now you look like who you are. You are who we thought you were, type thing. And right now, as long it's only a few ratings that matters, and if you build your game or scheme around those few ratings, you're going to be successful, even with a bum quarterback. And that's the thing that we got to get away from.
All right, Tightware, you opened a can of worms, so I'm going to ask you, what rating matters at what positions? Now, I don't want you to give away the whole free chicken, but go ahead and get him a little drumette of what rating matters for what position.
Quarterback awareness. That's what you No, like okay, mid mostly for a quarterback, but you have less errant throws. But you can build your scheme around the quarterback with 83 throwing power and let's say 80 short and mid. You can live off that. O-linemen, I think it's the run block. Like in most leagues that I'm in, just up the run block. And it seems like once you get up to a 91, you're good. Everything past that is irrelevant because it's a threshold. And I think the thresholds in the game is what's throwing everything off. Running back, they got to be the agility because my boy KP showed me that the acceleration doesn't matter. That's good. You got to run it back, let's say 88 speed and 89 agility, you're going to be successful. Period. Point blank.
Okay, no more ratings. Too many guys in our franchise are watching this show. So we don't want to give no free ticket. Listen, I don't want nobody watching this show live to be like, oh, I can't play my game this week. Hold on, I gotta find me a running back that's got better agility than what I got. So listen, is that not frustrating when you think about it, that you got an offensive lineman that 90% of his ratings mean absolutely nothing unless you up two statistics? If you up his run block and you up his pass block, you can roll with those guys till they're 35 years old in your dynasty franchise. I mean, isn't that just frustrating when you look at all the different things you got XP wise that you could be upgrading? That those would be just the most frustrating things to us as a community.
The most frustrating to me is when you have like a 97 pass block tackle and he's getting beat consistently by 70 finesse. I mean, and it's like an instant win. It's not like, okay, I battled and held the ball for 5 seconds and then he got sacked. Okay. But when he gets sacked in 2.5 seconds and he's 97 plus pass, that's when we know it's frustrating. We have a problem. I don't know how difficult it is to make it work. But exactly like you talk about, if I got a left tackle that's 92 strength and he's got 95 pass block, he should not be beat by a guy that's got 79 strength and 67 finesse move and 73 power move. He should not be getting beat. Now, is he going to get beat every once in a while? Sure, he may miss a tackle, he may miss a block, one or two here or there, but consistently he should be dominating that defensive end. And that's where I think the CFM community will stand up and throw their hands in the air the most. That if, as a GM, if I build my team and I put hogs on the front line and you don't have a good defensive line, I should have all day to stand back here and throw. Or if I got a wide receiver that has 95 route running, but you got a cornerback jumping the route
that's a 65 overall. That's where it's just frustrating the most. And I think it can be fixed because, guys, we've played Maddens that weren't like this. I've been playing Madden since I was like 14 years old. A long time. And this year, I have seen more complaining about this game than any other Madden that I've ever played. I thought 17 was going to be the worst. We griped about 17 quite a bit. But 18, when 18 came out the box, the only problem I had was I felt like everybody had an all-pro secondary, no matter who you had. It was my biggest complaint. But a lot of the other things in the game worked. And then we patched this game time and time again. And to me, and listen, I understand as a CFM community, a lot of times we don't ever recognize the good stuff about Madden. We only harp on the negative. And that's something we got to fix as a CFM community. This game is beautiful. If you don't think this game is beautiful, you got the wrong TV or you have the wrong PlayStation and you need to upgrade. Holla at your boy Expert and I'll tell you how to hook that entertainment system up to where you playing the same beautiful game I got. But there are some things in this game that are frustrating to me based on ratings. And you talk about defensive line is the most frustrating thing to me, that Tyron Smith is getting beat by a 71 overall defensive end on a regular basis. That ain't happening. I've watched Tyron Smith since he came to the Dallas Cowboys, and I've never seen him be dominated by anybody. And in Madden 18, you could bring Vince Beagle off the edge, and he's beating Tyron Smith on a regular basis. To the point where I got to keep my running back in to help chip block, or I got to keep my tight end and do max protect, and that just eliminates the amount of routes I got. So I think that's, if you ask people, and listen, number 1 and number 2 on this list, we could have flip-flopped. And the thing is really 1 and 2 are pretty much, to me, the same thing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
People say ratings gotta matter. So let's bring number 1 in here. And the number 1 issue that the CFM community, over 230 people voted on this. We opened this up into Twitter versus the first one we did. We kind of only asked certain leagues, but we didn't want as our league, we didn't want to hold back and not let the whole community talk about it. So we promoted it on Twitter. We got a lot of different leagues that follow us on Twitter that got able to be into this poll, and so we had a lot of people's input. And the number 1 thing people said is height, weight, strength gotta be a factor in Madden 19. Have to be. If height, weight, and strength mean absolutely nothing in Madden 19, like they did Madden 18, you're going to see a lot of guys stop playing Madden. And that's the most heartbreaking thing to me as a diehard Madden fan, is that I've seen guys that have run leagues for years and years and years that have stopped running the league, have shut it down, and stopped playing Madden because some of these things haven't been fixed or even been addressed or even been talked about that are going to be addressed. And so I'm just going to tell you my most frustrating thing. I'm going to kick it over to my boys KB and Tightwork. But the most frustrating thing to me is when you have a 5'10" wide receiver out jumping a 6'3" free safety on a consistent basis, just jumping over him like he's Randy Moss in a 5'10" frame. It is the most frustrating thing to me because it's the worst animation to me in Madden 18. Because if you 5'10" and you 180 pounds, you're not jumping over a 205 pound 6'3" strong safety. You just not. It's not going to happen.
Nah.
And so, and that's just one example. There are so many examples. We could go position by position and tell you how this position, his height, weight, and strength should play a factor, and it doesn't right now in Madden 18. So, KP, talk about why height, weight, and strength is so important to the Madden community.
I mean, it's very important, man. And I'm gonna tell you, at one point, I thought it did matter, man, because I have one of my leagues, I have a little linebacker. It's like 220. I wouldn't play him because of how small he is. But if strength and height doesn't matter, I might go ahead and put 11 DBs on the field and just have all speed. I mean, when you look at the offensive line, the D line, that's where the bulk of the meat is. You know what I'm saying? So if I got a guy that's 90-something strength, I mean, he shouldn't be getting pushed around by somebody that has like 62 strength. He should be beasting him all game. Like, there's no way that guy with the lower strength should be able to maintain and hold up on his side of the ball. You know, so we got to get that fixed, man. And as my man Expert mentioned earlier, having 5'10" wide receivers out jump 6'3", 6'2" corners or safeties, that's not happening, man. Everybody know that's not happening. You know what I'm saying? We can see it in the real NFL. When you have a guy like Alshon Jeffrey, who's what, 6'3", 6'4", they try to get him on the island, throw a little fade to him, especially if he's covering, if a short cornerback is covering him.
Yeah.
That's touchdown all day.
Yeah, exactly. But in this game, your 6'4" wide receiver is covered by 5'8", 5'9" cornerbacks. And it's lockdown. And that's where height and weight and strength have to matter. Right. So tight work. Talk about what can EA do to fix this phenomenon that height and your weight and your strength mean absolutely nothing in their game.
I'm gonna give it to the devs. You can tell that they tried. That's why when we first got the game, they added the soft box to make you get pancaked if you're in a quarters defense versus a 2 tight end set. You can tell they tried a problem, but they haven't found a solution for it, because it's for years in Madden. You know how you come out in a big set, and then the guys can run a nickel defense and stop you because speed is king. Your fast guy's gonna run around the big guy and tackle your running back, and then you have a big running back, strong because he got good strength, and he's getting tackled by that 5'8" guy that can't tackle. So you can tell some of the things they did, they recognize that it's a problem, but it's mostly with the line play that I see the biggest problem. When you have, let's say a Condominus Sue, he got 98 strength, and he's going against a center that's 85 strength, but he's not getting pushed. The center's not getting pushed in the backfield every play. So what's the use of running a 3-4 defense when you have these 3 big hogs with 90 plus strength going against a small O-line, but they don't have to double team the D linemen to free it up? And I think it all boils down to the physics of the game, because with physics you can add more weight to players to make them crash a little bit more. Let's take backbreaker for instance. I didn't like the game at all. But as far as the physics played out, they played out the way it should. If I got a big guy going against a little guy, the big guy's going to win. You know, and right now we're not getting that, because the little guy, as far as the programming going Madden, we see that he's smaller, but the way that it's coded out, once they meet, they the same size. And we don't have that difference, you know, just like when you try to throw a fade to Julio Jones versus Brent Grimes. There's no way that Brent should that 70% of the time, but in the game he does.
Yeah.
And we shouldn't have that. If you have in the league, a couple leagues I'm in, this guy has this O-line. Everybody's big. Everybody's over 320 pounds. When he play against a guy that's all about speed and drafted his D-line on speed, and all of them's 285, he should be able to run right down his throat. But the physics don't allow that to happen. I think that's what it more than the height weight factor. I think it plays out into the physics of the game.
Right. So KP, do you think that EA has tried to make Madden easier for that user that maybe just doesn't understand how all of these physics and ratings and height, weight, and strength? Have they tried to make Madden easier across the board for everybody?
I really think they have, and that just goes back to how Type mentioned earlier, where it's a button for everything now. You know what I'm saying? So I think they've kind of, dumbed it down to try to get maybe the user owner who's not that good to be great. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like they try to get everybody on the same playing level. So, but as we all know, they're good owners. There's some that's mediocre. You know what I'm saying? But I think just getting it on a even or a level playing field. I think you got to change that. You know what I'm saying? So we EA has to get this right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think they've been listening to it now for an entire year about they got to get this one right. And I heard Rex on an episode of another league show. I believe it was Bomber in NBL. Had Rex on, and listen, I follow Rex and have been following Rex for a long time on Twitter. He wants CFM to be amazing. He really does. He wants you to open up your Madden copy and be wowed by CFM. But we also have to understand, Rex isn't the one making all of these decisions. Your boy John's not making all these decisions. Clint's not making all these decisions. There's a lot of other people that are involved. And these developers are very transparent on Twitter. They're always available. And man, they take a lot of heat on Twitter. Some of these guys on Twitter is hilarious.
Yeah.
I tweeted out to Clint the other day, a while ago, that I wanted my quarterback every time he threw the ball that lightning bolts would come out of his hands, because that's really what a lot of these guys on Twitter want. They want their quarterback to crap thunder and throw lightning bolts.
Yep.
And you got a lot of people that are going to bash these guys because their quarterback doesn't make every throw or their wide receiver doesn't make every catch. And that's just not football. But I think the way that they dumbed down Madden for the average user has hurt the CFM community, because you got guys that are spending money left and right on Madden, not only buying the game, but we doing graphics for our shows. We promoting the game. We asking for things to be fixed. We doing shows on our leagues. I mean, we're spending a lot of time. You look at some of these leagues that have web pages for their leagues. Listen, you have a game that you have a website like Daddy Leagues that is promoting the heck out of Madden. I mean, that guy for Daddy Leagues is working hand in hand with almost every CFM franchise right now. You got a guy like League Crawler. I mean, just balling out for the CFM community. You got guys like Shopmaster, Deuce Douglas. I mean, a lot of guys in the Madden community that want nothing more than to open up Madden copy and just make it about football again. And not do it so that my teenage son can sit down on the couch and be a superstar at Madden. Mm-hmm. He doesn't put that kind of work in. I mean, we playing Madden almost every single day. I know in our league, and several leagues that I'm in. I mean, it's a grind 365 days. But it should be to the fact that the owners that are putting in the time, scouting players, finding the right fit to their offense, finding that guy that's got the right height, the right weight, the best strength. Those are the people that should be dominating in CFM versus the guy that just wakes up on Saturday and pops the game in and says, all right, I'm about to put my 75 overall team on the field and compete with a 95 overall team. That cannot happen in Madden 19. And so, and listen, guys, these top 5 things weren't everything people said. I mean, there was a long list, KP and Tight Work. We saw some of the list. There was a long list of things that people wanted fixed in Madden 19. We narrowed it down to the top 5 things. Now, It's not experts top 5. It's not KP's top 5. It's not Tightwork's top 5. It was the multiple people that voted. This is where the top 5 votes went to. And I think, guys, if they could fix these top 5 things, and this is the second episode of The Grind. If you go and check out the DML Network on YouTube, you'll see our other episode of The Grind, myself and Taz, C. Robin Flair. We had another show with another top 5 that we asked several leagues to vote on. If they could fix those 10 things, could we have probably the best Madden we've ever seen on the PlayStation 4? I mean, this could be better than 16, 17, 18 combined if they could fix these top 10 things that we've done on these 2 shows.
Right.
What could that do for the CFM community? Not only as a standpoint of having a great game, but what kind of respect level, response level you would get from CFM if EA took these top things to heart and put these in the games and actually said, okay, guys, we listened, we fixed them, let us know how we did. How would that help the CFM community? KP, I'll go to you first.
Oh, man, I think it would help drastically, man, because right now, with the way the CFM is and these leagues, I've seen a lot of a high turnover rate where guys are leaving leagues because they don't want to deal with the game. I think if you take in consideration of what the CFM community wants and trying to get EA to change, I think you will increase your fan base. It's already big, but it'll be even bigger. That'll let us know that, hey man, they actually are listening and really trying to implement these changes that we want. Hey, I think that's all we ask for, just to listen and try to implement these changes. So if you do that, the CFM community will be happy. Everybody who plays Madden will be happy. You got to satisfy both. You can't just satisfy one, where everything that you're changing and improving is for one side of Madden, and then CFM is on the backside. So,
yeah, I think that's the key point, because, and like I said, you got to go where the money is. And listen, I don't play much. I just don't. Like, when I first get Madden, I usually create a team and I'll play with them for a little bit. But man, my heart and soul is in the CFM community, and this is where I want to see it step to the front burner, to be that thing that people look up and say, okay guys, they go to EA meeting and say, listen, these are the things we need to fix for the CFM community right now. Instead of, hey guys, if we get around to it, we may do a couple things for the CFM guys. But I'm going to bring it up again. The EA developers themselves have said this is the most played game mode in all of Madden. And that means a lot. If you got the most guys playing your one mode, those guys got to get just as much love as everybody else, if not more. Because these are the guys that are buying your deluxe GOAT edition. Listen, in my house, there is no question what edition we get in Madden. We get the most expensive Madden because it comes with all the extras. And right. my sons will normally, they chose the GOATs this year that they wanted for Madden Ultimate Team. I persuaded them that we need to have Deion Sanders on the roster, but they had to pick Tom Brady because he's the GOAT of all GOATs to them. But we buy the most expensive edition every year. It's no question to us whether we get Madden on release day. It's got to be bought. It's paid for. We got to pick it up on release day, or it's got to be digitally downloaded. And there's thousands and thousands of guys that are doing that. And if you don't take care of those customers, because that's what we are customers. If you don't take care of those those customers start to do some other things. They stop spending their money to help you out. And that's where I don't want to see Madden going, is I don't want to see it fall off because they didn't listen to the CFM community. So, Tight, why is it so important for them to help improve these things that we're asking for?
I think that the devs are confused. They want to split us up, competitive and CFM. When it comes to our top 5 that we talk about today, is all gameplay. Yeah. Everybody on both sides want the game to play like it should play. Not the CFM guys want a little bit more what we see on Sundays. We want stuff to make sense, but we want the penalties. We want the weather to affect the players. The ball gets heavy when it's cold. You got a lot more drop balls. Yes, we want those things, but that's all overshadowed by if the game plays the way that it should. Ratings, the weight matters, the physics, and everything that we talked about today. And then you can give us Madden 05 with the features. If the game plays right, we can play because it had and everything that it's had. Then they had another game in-house, Head Coach 09. Give us Head Coach 09 and just give us good gameplay, and the CFM community will shut up. They'll buy your game every year and be happy. You just tune that stuff. But the competitive part, they want gameplay. Everything's gameplay. That's fine. We can have both. But it's like when you listen to the Rex, sometimes I feel like I'm lied to, because it's like, let me point to this guy and say it's his fault why you don't have it, because we know you can't talk to that guy, but he's the one that's holding us back for CFM. We're playing the game. We the one that like you said, we get it early, and we can start our leagues early. And that's what it's about, because the majority of the guys that play CFM, they'll try the other modes, but we're going to play our CFM 32-man league because it's funner that way. Even though the game doesn't play out like we want, it means something when you with 31 other guys and you can talk trash.
Absolutely.
And hear guys cry about something that you know that they shouldn't be crying about just because they lost a game. You know, and that's all that we want. But when you go on Twitter, it seems like they want to split us and put us into different groups.
Yeah. Because
we want some features. But the bottom line is, if you make football play like football, everybody's going to be happy. Give us, stop, as far as CFM goes, stop adding the feature in and then taking it out the next year. Instead of improving on that and then give us a little bit more. Because we done had everything that should have been in CFM was there, but it's not now.
Yeah.
You got to complain about that. And then as they do that, they want to dumb down the game to a one-button push, and that affecting the gameplay. Now, the game doesn't play like it should. You know, and I think that on Twitter as a whole, as a Madden community, we got to come together and say, forget competitive, forget CFM, forget MUT. Let's get the gameplay right, and everything else will follow suit.
Absolutely, man. I couldn't say better than Tight Work and KP just said. Got to get the gameplay right. Got to play to the ratings. You got to play to your height, strength, weight. You got to improve awareness. You got to improve the animations. And man, you got to improve zone and man coverages and these animations when you switch to DBs and corners and linebackers. Those are the top 5 guys. And listen, I know there's a lot more things out there that we could have talked about. And I know everybody listening to this, you're going to drop a comment and let us know what we missed, because we going to do this again. I promise you, we want the best for what CFM is all about here. And so drop us a comment, hit like on this video, subscribe to our channel. Let us know some other things you want to talk about, and we'll see about getting another poll up, maybe another top 5, because we got a long way till Madden 19 comes out. So we got to start pushing for what we want to see in Madden 19, but we got to do it the right way. We got to stop attacking guys personally on Twitter. We got to stop doing it on Facebook. We got to be smart and respectful for these guys as well, because that's the only way we're going to get what we want, is if we're respectful about it, if we come with level heads, and we come united as a CFM community. And that's key when you want change to happen. You got to bind together as a group and go to them with the top things you want fixed in the right way. Not talking about wait till I see you around the corner, or don't let me catch you outside. Because come on guys, it's a video game at the end of the day. And like my boy said, I just want the best game for myself and my 31 brothers in our league that we got, because this is a brotherhood. A lot of us been together for multiple years, 4 or 5 years, playing this game together in the same community, and we just want as a group the best thing for the entire CFM community. And the only people that can get it to us is the people that develop the game. So we got to go at them the right way. But I got to give huge shouts out to the homie KP and my boy Tightwork. Listen, if y'all are on the DML network, y'all check my boys out on Numbers Don't Lie. These guys are hilarious because women lie, kids lie, Matty Ice lies, but numbers don't lie. You got to check my boys out because they are hilarious. Check out all the videos on the DML network. Subscribe to the channel. We got content coming out all the time. But big, huge shout out to KP and Tightwork, man. I appreciate y'all jumping on the show with me.
Yeah, no doubt,
thank
man.
you, sir. Thank you for having me.
Okay. Yeah, no doubt. All right, guys. This has been another episode of The Grind. It's your boy Expert on the DML network, and we out.
Thank you for tuning into the DML network. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button below.